One of my favorite parts of the show, Quad Lock Case question of the week. We got a lucky winner. Go to quadlockcase.com. Check them out. It comes from, and the winner is J.S.R.P. Hansen. With Jordon Smith taking the win, do you think there should be an age limit to the 250 class? We've talked about this a million times. We have some sound, but before we roll it, I think the system's broken. I think we need a better points system. I've tossed around the idea inside my head of, if you get to like, 25 top fives or something like that, are you out? I've tossed around like 3 years inside the top five. Are you out? It's just, I don't know the perfect answer just yet, but like those are the kind of the things that I think about. And I definitely, you bring up a great question, JSRP. Yeah, I don't know what it could be. What do you think, RV? Like, what's your take?
So this, and I might get a little heat from this, but Jordon Smith being, he's, what is he? I think 31 ish, 30, 31, somewhere in that realm. And then you have Cole Davies sitting around 20 years old. A pretty big age gap there, but mainly bigger mental gap. But I will say, if you were to take Jordon Smith and put him in the 450 class, at his current state of how he races and how consistent he is, I give him 1 to 2 years in the 450 class, and then he is potentially call it privateer. I think that the age gap is big. The mental capacity is a lot different. But look, there's four spots on a lot of these 250 teams, and there's 2 spots in the 450. A lot of our 450 teams are filled right now. So if you were to put the points situation or an age limit like that, we're going to lose a lot of these racers because there's not going to be a place for them. And just like we saw, Cole Davies knocking down the first 2 race wins at his age, his mental capacity. Yes, Jordon Smith gets the overall, but if I'm looking at it on paper, like, I don't see a problem with it. Like, I see the sky's the limit for Cole Davies, and I see that Jordon Smith is kind of on his way out, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not saying he's gone tomorrow, gone the next day.
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
in 2 years, but if the flat answer to that question is I don't think he's ready for a 450. If you can't be consistent in an 8 race series and then head out and do 11 outdoors, which statistically he hasn't been able to do, then he's not ready for the 450 class. And it's not every weekend he's blowing away everybody, right? Like, we've had Juju with an overall win. We've had, obviously, Jordon Smith with an overall win. We've had multiple winners in this 250 class. So it's not like he's blowing these dudes away because of his age and his mental capacity and what he can handle pressure-wise. Like, he's right there. I mean, there with him.
Yeah, and it's twofold from a team's perspective, RV. You know this, and so if you're a team, you want a guy like Jordon because he's proven, and you have a really good chance, if he rises full capability, to possibly win a championship and win races and sponsors like that. If you bring on a young guy that, like Cole Davies, not everyone is going to be like Hayden Deegan or Cole Davies. You're going to have dudes that just take longer to mature and get those results. So that's the chance that you're taking, getting those young riders. So it's twofold for the teams, and I understand that. And I agree with you. I don't know what the magic age limit, but if you take a guy like Jordon Smith, or you take a guy like, let's see here, Davalos did good in the 450s, but I don't think he did as good in the 450s as he did in the 250s. I mean,
and like, it took him years. It took him years to Davalos was always had great speed, but the consistency was his biggest problem. Even in the lights class, along with the 450 class or the 250 class in the 450 class. So, but yeah, think,
so like, it's not. Here's the thing. Like, you got older guys that like they know that they're not going to go and they're not going to run in the top 5 or top 8 in the 450 every single weekend. And they're probably not going to earn as much money. So they're staying in the 250 because they know they can probably win on a good night and they can be more competitive. They're going to get paid more. It's easier work. I mean, you still have to train your tail off, but
Yep.
there's less competition.
And
So they're making,
to the point of the age, call it gap, or you have a Jordon Smith and then you have a rookie coming in, you know, like Cole Davies. Let's say they were both on the same team. Now, if you're the team, you're investing in your future rider, which would, let's call it Cole Davies, and then you have your Jordon Smith. Jordon Smith is at the tail end of his career. You have Cole coming in as a rookie. Now you have an experienced rider that knows kind of how the bike should feel, testing wise, developing the motorcycle, and just the technique stuff that the whoops bring, the on offs bring in the rhythm sections. Now you know you're having your rookie rider watch how it's all done, and hopefully taking all of that and improving his riding to you know why they're investing that money and putting that time into the younger rider. So I think it's good to have the both. It's you know.
Well, also too, one thing looming, and this is why you win the question of the week, JSRP Hansen, and congratulations. Remember, slide into the DM, and Title 24 DM will get you set up, all that stuff. Thank you for your participation and being a fan of RV9 and Title 24. Another thing, and then we'll move on, is like RV, you got the age change coming, right? 17 to turn pro, and I think eventually it's going to be 18. And so guys are going to stay in there a lot longer. We're not going to get these young guys missing opportunities. You know, they're not going to be 16, you know, so they're going to be 18. So they're going to have more time to mature as amateurs and then racing the SMX next, blah, blah, blah. Like that's going to change the dynamic now. So like the whole point system is going to have to be reworked and rethought out once the professional age to turn pro changes in the next 2 years.
And to end it on this is if SMX Next or Loretta's or anywhere else where we could pull some of these riders, if there was a better option than Jordon Smith, then he'll get that position. Right now, those older guys like Jordon Smith and, you know, I can't pull them off the top of my head right now in the 250 class, but those older dudes, like if there's somebody better or that shows way more promise for the future, they're going to give him that shot. Just right now, these teams have 4 spots. We have more manufacturers than we ever have, which is a great thing for our sport. There's more positions for these riders to go and get on better equipment and hopefully make a real living and make some real cash to stack away. So until there's somebody else to bridge that gap that they are going to invest in, then Jordon Smith, that's your position. He should have that position. I don't think he should go to the 450 class.
All right. So Hayden Deegan, he talked about it in his presser. Roll what Hayden had to say, Aaron.
Yeah, that's a hard question because it's like you don't want to take jabs at people for how long they've been in the class, but I don't know. I honestly I think the 250 class should have an age limit on it just so the younger generation has opportunity to get rides, and that's no jab at anybody. That's just my thought.
But RC, I don't know who you race against, but I can off the top of my head. I was 16 years old when I came in. I had Andrew Short. I had Nate Dogg. I had Nate Ramsey. You know, there was a pile.
Dude, I had John Dow, bro. Come on.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And you were
Barry Karsten.
Yeah, you were racing with those dudes and beating those dudes. I had Matt Walker, Ivan Tedesco. All of those guys were, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years older than I was. You know, I
barely had hair under my arms. I barely had hair under my arms, bro.
I kind of disagree with what Hayden said there. Like, yes, it is
really?
It is. I understand it. Yeah, well, it is the stepping stone class, but like I had said before, you put a time limit or a term limit on that or an age limit on that. Now you're putting dudes out of a job that's not going to be able to make it in the 450 class, and it's not like he's blowing these dudes away at his age. Like Hayden's beat him more times than they've raced more times than not. Smith hasn't beat Hayden as much as Hayden's beat Smith with the amount of gate drops that Jordon has over through his career versus Hayden. You know, you can count Hayden's on one hand. You can count Hayden's on one hand. I need my toes and my hands to count how many times Jordon Smith has been out there. So I don't see what the big deal is.
I know. I don't think there's a magic answer, dude. But I do think maybe there will be more clarity once they change the legal age to race SMX. I do. Maybe then we can kind of hone in on a happy medium.
All it's going to do is make it a case for more of a case for that it should stay the same, because right now it's 16. Eventually it's going to be 18. So that gap of age is going to be smaller.
Yeah. Dude, I'm with you. What do you do? So, hey, you know what's screwed up is the age limit in the MXGP2 class, because Hurup needed another year to do what he did this past season, and now he's kicked out because of his age. So it's like he's not ready for the MXGP.
And what is the age limit there? What is the age limit there?
24 or something? 25? I don't know. It's screwed him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's like dude, it's so situational. It really is situational. Straight up. There you go. You win. All right. So look ahead. SMX on NBC this week. Throw it up there, Aaron.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.